Dear friends, good evening. Thank you for joining with us today as well to this online broadcast of our daily Buddha Puja chanting, Dhamma reflection and meditation. This series during this Friends retreat that we have been conducting is simply for you to participate from home wherever you are, especially during this time of restrictions during pandemic times. And the series will continue until 24th of October. So we go live at 6:30, enabling you to participate and practice the Dhamma from wherever you are during this Friends retreat. So participating in religious observances, learning or recalling the Dhamma, and also deepening your practice is some of the great meritorious deeds that you could accumulate during the Rains retreat, as well as develop skills and also engage in or connect with the triple gem. So every day we go live at 6:30, and if you do not have Facebook, you can direct your friends who do not have Facebook to lmmc.online in YouTube channel. So devotees sponsor every day, and today the sponsorship is made by Mrs. Claudia Crozier along with her son Dylan. They came to the temple and made offerings and are participating from home. Claudia, along with her brothers Tony and Ansley, would like to share merit with their departed mother, Susila Gunaranjani Pereira, who passed away on the 21st of May 2019. They are also joined by her husband, Claudia's husband, Samidhi Senivaratna, and Mr. John Friend. So by participating in this meritorious deed, by sponsoring the event and sponsoring the Dhamma Dana, all merit accumulated, may the merit be conducive, helpful for the well-being of dear Mother Susila Gunaranjani Pereira. May all merit accumulated be helpful, conducive for her well-being in the sansaric life, and eventually may she attain the blissful state of Nibbana. So with those kind intentions, Claudia Crozier, beloved daughter, along with her son Dylan Upasena, are joining with us, as well as some family members, Tony, Ansley, John, and Samidhi Senivaratna, dear husband, is also participating from Sri Lanka. So may you as an online community also be well, happy and peaceful, especially during this time. May you gain good health and enjoy good health. So with all those kind and righteous intentions, let us engage in the Buddha Puja, Buddha Vandana. So before that, say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times to observe 5 precepts. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinnādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kāmesu micchācārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surāmeraya majjapamā daṭṭhānā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Tisaranena saddhiṃ pañcasīlaṃ dhammang sādhukang surakkitaṃ kattvā appamādena sampādetabbang. So now let's worship the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Itipiso bhagavā arahaṃ sammā sambuddho vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhammasārathi sattha deva manussānaṃ buddho bhagavāti. Buddhaṃ jīvitaṃ yāva nibbānaṃ saranaṃ gacchāmi. Ye ca buddhā atītā ca ye ca buddhā anāgatā. Paccuppanna ca ye buddhā ahaṃ vandāmi sabbadā. Nati me saranaṃ aññaṃ buddho me saranaṃ varaṃ. Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalaṃ. Uttamangena vandehaṃ pādapaṃ suvaruttamam. Buddheyo kalito doso buddho khamatu taṃ mamam. Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sandittiko akaliko. Ehi passiko opanayiko paccattaṃ veditabbo viññuhiti. Dhammaṃ jīvitaṃ yāva nibbānaṃ saranaṃ gacchāmi. Ye ca dhammā atītā ca ye ca dhammā anāgatā. Paccuppanna ca ye dhammā ahaṃ vandāmi sabbadā. Nati me saranaṃ aññaṃ dhammo me saranaṃ varaṃ. ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු මේ ජය මංගලං උත්තමංගේන වන්දේහං ධම්මං ච ත්‍රිවිධං වරං ධම්මියෝ කලිතෝ දෝසෝ ධම්මෝ කමතු තං මමං සුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ උජ්ජපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ ඥායපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ සාමීචි පටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ යදිදං චත්තාරි පුරිස යුගානි අට්ඨ පුරිස පුග්ගලා ඒස භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ ආහුනේයෝ පාහුනේයෝ දක්ඛිනේයෝ අංජලි කරණීයෝ අනුත්තරං පුඤ්ඤක්ඛෙත්තං ලෝකස්සාති සංඝං ජීවිතං යාව නිබ්බානං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි යේච සංඝා අතීතාච යේච සංඝා අනාගතා පච්චුප්පන්නාච යේ සංඝා අහං වන්දාමි සබ්බදා නත්ථි මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං සංඝෝ මේ සරණං වරං ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු මේ ජය මංගලං උත්තමංගේන වන්දේහං සංඝං ච ත්‍රිවිධෝත්තමං සංඝේයෝ කලිතෝ දෝසෝ සංඝෝ කමතු තං මමං ඝනසාරප්පදිත්තේන දීපේන තමදං සිනා තිලෝක දීපං සම්බුද්ධං පූජයාමි තමෝනුදං ගන්ධ සම්භාර යුත්තේන ධූපේනාහං සුගන්ධිනා පූජයේ පූජනීයන්තං පූජා භාජන මුත්තමං වන්න ගන්ධ ගුණෝපේතං ඒතං කුසුම සන්තතින් පූජයාමි මුනින්දස්ස සිරිපාද සරෝරුහේ පූජේමි බුද්ධං කුසුමේන නේන පුඤ්ඤේන මේතේන ච හෝතු මොක්ඛං උප්පහං මිලායාති යථා ඉදම්මේ කායෝ තථා යාති විනාශ භාවං අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ පානීයං පරිකප්පිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තම අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ ගිලාන පච්චයං ඉමං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තම අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ වේසජ්ජං පරිකප්පිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තම අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ සම්බං සද්ධාය පූජිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තම වන්දාමි චේතියං සම්බං සබ්බඨානේ සුපතිට්ඨිතං සාරීරික ධාතු මහා බෝධිං Buddha rupang sakalang sada Yassa mule nisinno ve sabbari vijayang aka Patto sabbanyutang sattha vande tang bodhipadapang Ime ete mahabodhi lokanatena pujita Aham pite namassami bodhiraja namattute Kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang Acchayang kamame bhante bhuri panye tathagata Kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang Acchayang kamame dhamma sanditthika akalika Kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang Acchayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara Ittavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang Sambe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Ittavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang Sambe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Ittavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang Sambe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo Imina punya kammene mami bala samagamu Satang samagamu hotu yava nibbana pattiya Idam me punyang asavakkaya vahang hotu Samba dukkha pamunchatu Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu So that brings us to the end of Buddha Puja. Now we are going to chant Ratana Sutta, especially blessing the sponsors and you as an online community. So the sponsors, Mrs. Claudia Cruz here, who sponsored the event, to bless her departed beloved mother, Susila Gunaranjani Pereira, who passed away about just over a year ago. 21st May 2019. May she be blessed by the merit accumulated. May she rejoice in the merit and make her life happy wherever she is. May she rest in peace. So with those kind intention, Claudia and her son Dylan came to the temple to make the offerings. They are joined with her husband Samit Senivaratna from Sri Lanka, and also her brothers Tony and Ansley and John Friend, the husband of Mrs. Pereira. So may you all be well, happy and peaceful. May you be blessed by the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. May the blessings be helpful for your well-being, and especially may you have good health and happiness during this time of lockdown or pandemic times. You as an online community as well, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May you have good health and enjoy your times. If you have any friends or family members that are ill, bear them in your thoughts when you listen to the chanting and wish them speedy recovery. May they be blessed by the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and may they gain speedy recovery and enjoy good health throughout. As always, we dedicate this to all the key workers, all the NHS staff, doctors and nurses. May they also enjoy good health and happiness. May they develop more courage and determination to continue their valuable services to the nation. So with those kind intention, we begin chanting with the Ratana Sutta. Please listen to the chantings with great attention and respect. Samanta Cakkavalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajassa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Parittassavana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Parittassavana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Paritta Dhamma Savana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Yani Bhutani Samagatani Bhummani Vayani Vantalikhe Sambeva Bhuta Sumana Bhavantu Athopi Sakkacca Sunantu Bhasitang Tasmahi Bhutani Sametha Sabbe Mettang Karotha Manusiya Pajaya Divacharatto Cheharanti Ye Baling Tasmahine Rakkata Appamatta Yankinchi Vittang Idhavahurang Vasagge Suvayang Ratanang Panitang Nano Samang Atthitathagatena Idampi Buddhe Ratanang Panitang Etena saccena suvatti hotu Khayang viragang amatang panitang Yadajjaga sakya muni samahito Natena dhammena samatti kinci Idampi dhamme ratanang panitang Etena saccena suvatti hotu Yang Buddha Settho Parivannai Sucing Samadhimanantari Kanyamahu Samadhinatena Samona Vijjati Idampi Dhamme Ratanang Panitang Etena Saccena Suvatti Hotu Ye Puggala Attha Satang Pasattaha Chattari Etani Yugani Honti Te dakhineya sugatassa savaka ete sudinnani mahaphalani idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu ye suppayutta manasa dalhena nikkamino gotama sasanamhi Te patti patta amatang vigaihe laddha mudha nibbuting bunjamana idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Yathinda khilo pathaving sitosiya chatubhi vatebhi asampekampiyo Tathupamang sappuri sangvadami yo varya saccani avecce passati idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu ye arya saccani vibhavayanti gambhira panyena sudesitani Kincapi te honti busappamatta nate bhavang attamang adiyanti idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Sahavassa dassana sampadaya tayassu dhamma jahita bhavanti Sakkaya ditthi vichikichitancha silabbatang vapi yadatti kinchi Chatuha payehi cha vippamutto chacha bithanani abhabbo katung Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Kincapi sokammang karoti papakang kayena vaca udaceta Abhabbo so tassa paticchādāye abhabbata dittha padassa buttā Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Vanappe gumbe yatha pussitagge gimhānamāse pathamasmiṃ gimhe Tathupamang dhammavarang adesai nibbānagāmiṃ paramang hitāye Idampi buddhe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Varo varanya varado varaharo anuttaro dhammavarang adesai Idampi buddhe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Kīnang purānang navang natti sambhavang viratta citta ayatike bhavasmiṃ Te khīna bija avirulhiccanda nibbanti dhīra yathāyang padīpo Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Yani dabhutani samagatani bhummani vāyani vayantalikhe Tathāgatang deva manussa pūjitang buddhaṃ namassāma suvatti hotu Yani dabhutani samagatani bhummani vāyani vayantalikhe Tathāgatang deva manussa pūjitang Dhammaṃ namassāma suvatti hotu Yani dabhutani samagatani bhummani vāyani vayantalikhe Tathāgatang deva manussa pūjitang Sanghaṃ namassāma suvatti hotu Etena sacca vajjena dukkha upasamentu te Etena sacca vajjena bhaya upasamentu te Etena sacca vajjena roga upasamentu te Devo vassatu kālena sassa sampatti hetu ce Pīto bhavatu loko ce raja bhavatu dhammiko Ākāsattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika Puñyantaṃ anumoditva chiraṃ rakkhantu loka sāsanaṃ Ākāsattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika Puñyantaṃ anumoditva chiraṃ rakkhantu dhamma desanaṃ Ākāsattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika Puñyantaṃ anumoditva chiraṃ rakkhantu maṃ paranti Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So this brings us to the close of our first session. In a few minutes we will continue our second session with Dhamma reflection and meditation. So today the sponsors, Mrs. Claudia Crozier and family. Claudia along with her son Dylan came to the temple to make the offerings. The main intention is to bless her departed beloved mother who passed away on the 21st of May last year, Mrs. Susila Gunaranjani Pereira, and she is joined with her brothers Tony and Ansley and husband Samidha Seneviratna, and also Mr. John Friend, beloved husband of Mrs. Pereira, is also joining us. So may all the merit accumulated so far by observing 5 precepts, by worshipping the Buddha and listening to the chanting, and again making the sponsorship for the Dhamma Dana, which we will begin in a few minutes. May all merit accumulated be conducive for her well-being. May she be in peace wherever she is. May she rejoice in our good meritorious deed and make her life blessed. And may she enjoy and rejoice in our karma as well as bless us. So with those kind intention, we will say sadhu 3 times to bless her. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So do stay tuned. We will join again in 2 minutes with a short break to listen to our regular Dhamma reflection and meditate on loving kindness. So thank you for joining with us so far. So stay tuned. Welcome back, dear friends. We just had a short break, so that time gives you to stretch a little bit because you've been sitting down for half an hour or so. So for those who are new and joining us, we go live every day at 6:30 with our evening worship, chanting, Dhamma reflection and meditation. From September the 1st, we'll go live at 7 o'clock. So please bear that in mind if you are a regular participant. So we have gone online especially to allow you to participate in religious observances from wherever you are, at home or abroad. In participating in religious observance during rains retreat is considered not just meritorious but also skillful, because you are learning or recalling the Dhamma and also deepening your practice and staying closer to the Triple Gem. This series will finish on the 24th of October, and we will then continue with a different format after that. So the robe offering ceremony is on the 24th of October. So we have been reflecting ever since during this rains retreat began. We have been reflecting on the advice of the Buddha that is collected in a book called Dhammapada, which has 26 chapters and 423 verses. So those advice given to monks or people or with relevant scenarios or incidents, we do then learn something different. So we have come to the 5th chapter, which is called Balavagga, or the Fools. A chapter based on not ignorance in terms of education or IQ, but ignorance in terms of not being able to fix themselves when even with some wise sayings or wise relationships such as friends that one may have. So today is a bit more or less like a testing of faith scenario where one actually has confidence in a personal living. So this is nothing to do with education wise, or it's about the realization or the confidence within. So let us listen to the stanza first. Charanti bala dummedaha amitte neva attana karonta papakam kammam yang hoti katukaphalam. So bala is used here again with a bit of a synonym such as dummedha. Medha means skillful, wise. Dummedha means that someone is not wise. So bala is also as fool here. So making unwise decisions would be dummedha. So again bala. So charanti bala dummedha. So fools will live as such. How? Amitte neva attana, creating themselves as their own enemies. So creating oneself, in this case, it is about the results that one has to foresee coming. So creating yourself as an enemy. So it's like living with an enemy, because the actions that you engage with which are unwise, which are evil, are perhaps definitely bound to bring about negative results to yourself, which karonta papakam kammam, doing wrong deeds. Papa means papa, pau, or evil actions. Yang hoti katukaphalam, which bears, katuka means harsh and unpreferable or painful results. Phala means result. Katuka, bitter. So that word is there in Sri Lankan language as well, katuka, so painful results. So when you engage in evil or unskillful actions, you have to bear in mind that those people engaging in that would be seen as bala here. So as we have established, that bala here is not ignorant in terms of lack of knowledge or not learned. It is about not even infancy, which literally might mean. So a person who is engaging unwisely in evil deeds. Okay, so this is what was being said by the Buddha. This was with reference to a leper's confidence in the triple gem. So there was once a person called Suppa Buddha, a leper, had listened to the Dhamma and also listened to discourses given by the Buddha. So he had quite a great confidence. He had realized the Dhamma. Now he wasn't a rich person, he was a bit poor, and he was even an outcast, because normally lepers were considered outcasts, in a sense not preferred to be associated with. So when the crowd had dispersed, he followed the Buddha to the monastery, and at that moment Sakka, the king of the Devas, wished to test his faith in the Buddha, this leper's confidence in the Buddha, and appeared to him and said, "You are only a poor person, living on with what you beg for, with no one to fall back on you, no one to support you, with nothing as an asset to support you. I can give you immense wealth if you deny the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha and say that you have no use for them." Suppa Buddha replied, "I am certainly not a poor person with no one to rely on. I am a rich person, and I possess the 7 attributes which noble ones possess. So I may not be rich with money or assets, but I am rich virtually because I possess and I practice the attributes or the qualities that noble people possess. I have confidence, saddha, morality, sila, sense of shame to do evil, hiri, sense of fear to do evil, ottappa, learning, I'm learning something new every day, generosity, I practice letting go and freeing oneself, and knowledge, develop wisdom. So I have those 7 qualities. Then Sakka went to the Buddha and related the conversation between himself and Super Buddha. The Buddha explained to Sakka that it would not be easy even for 100 or 1,000 Sakkas to influence Super Buddha and trying to keep him away from Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Soon after this, Super Buddha arrived at the monastery and reported the same story to the Buddha. On his way back from the monastery, Super Buddha died due to an accident influenced by an evil spirit. And that evil spirit had actually vowed to take revenge because of certain mistake that Super Buddha had done. Somehow, later on, the Buddha revealed that he was born in a Tavatingsa Deval realm. The Buddha also explained that he was born a leper because of one of his previous existences, bad karma, but he stayed noble and he realized the Dhamma, and his defilements, mental defilements, had been cleared away, and hence his state of mind was pure, and that is what led him to have good results. So yesterday we referred that if someone has less greed, less hate, less anger, they are wise people. Alobha, adosa, amoha. If someone has reduced greed, hate and ignorance, they are wise. But if someone is showered, or if someone is soaked with greed, hate and ignorance, then they are considered as fools, because the tendency and every moment they spend is thinking unwisely, thinking with greed, thinking with hate, thinking with ignorance, delusion. So therefore, someone who does not possess lobha, dosa, moha, or is gradually trying to reduce lobha, dosa, moha, can be considered as a wise person. We also reflected that someone who practices loving kindness, practices compassion. So when someone is thinking wisely, a person is always thinking out of love and kindness, not in a self-centered love, but in a love that is uniquely well-wishing for everyone, and we practice that every day. Someone who is ready to be ready for someone else's pain or need, compassion, and someone who is also not affected by someone else's success or prosperity, mudita, who is always happy for the people's achievement as well. Only a wise person can do. If you are regularly generating jealousy on other people's success and other people's achievement, then you are considered a fool or bala in Buddhism here. So someone who cannot stand other people's success is completely an ignorant person, making their minds dirty with other people's property, jealousy, achievement, jealousy. So when one is able to be compassionate and one is able to be joyful with other people's, in the minus and plus points in life, then perhaps one can slowly also develop equanimity, a state of mind that when things go wrong, you do not change. So that is a wise person. A wise person will understand the situation and use the knowledge of impermanence to bring about realization. So that is a wise person. So that is what we reflected yesterday. And I do know I said that I will refer to the Kalam Sutta points, which I will refer to soon at the right moment. But today I want to refer to this 7-point Super Buddha revealed about being noble or wise. So confidence, saddha, we have referred to this quite often. Saddha is the trust and confidence that you develop within yourself in the spiritual path. Imagine yourself in a dark room, in your own home, perhaps. You are not scared when the lights go off. You know where things are. You know where things are. You can find your way here and there. Similarly, when you have confidence, you know what you're doing. You can gradually do things. So, but when you are in a area that, or in a zone that you are not familiar with, if the lights go off, you will panic. So confidence is like that. You actually develop trust, and you see things clearly. You want to follow those things, and that is what it is. So Super Buddha, no matter how he was tempted with wealth or with immense luxury, he did not lose the trust. He trusted the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. His confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha did not change. And when you develop this trust, you are more aware of the teachings, and especially in terms of sila, morality. You are more conscious about the wrong things that you could do, and therefore in 5 precepts at least you are aware of your tendency that you could do harm, so you're mindful, and therefore you refrain from harming other people. You are aware that when you lose something that you own, you feel sad. Similarly, applying that to other people's possessions, you do not steal, you do not misuse your senses, which will then completely delude or make yourself in a delusion zone, will take yourself to the delusion and engage in sensual pleasures unnecessarily or extremely. So in most cases we use the word called misuse of senses, telling lies or talking behind someone else's back. So you won't do those things when you have great confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, in his teachings and in his practice. So avoiding that, if it was a foolish person, in this case Bala, if it was a fool, will always pursue himself or herself with greed and hate, and always engage in things and actions and deeds that might break the precept. So only a person who is wise and noble will maintain his or her own stability and stand given the situation. Simply develop the ability to say no to wrong things. And therefore the word hiri is used here, sense of shame to do wrong things. What will other people, how will other people see me? How will other people perceive me? So the shame to do wrong things doesn't just come from nurturing good, being brought up different, in a different zone, but it is about this true understanding of things in terms of yourself and others. So when you do something, if you don't have shame in doing wrong things, you perhaps don't even know where you are. You will just completely engage in anything without looking at other people, without actually, you'll be in a state you don't care. So imagine some people who are really greedy will do things, who are really angry will do things without being aware of other people's or surroundings. So when someone has shame to do evil, will never ever even do evil, not just at the presence of other people, but also secretly, will not even do any evil secretly. So that's why the quality of the Buddha, we say Arahang. He did not do anything wrong, even in secrecy. So if you have shame in doing evil, you are always honest. You live a life of dignity, and there's no one to blame you. A wise person will also apply the fear of the results when doing things when they do wrong things. So to avoid, they will apply and look into the consequences. So fear to do evil would be ottappa. If you say, for example, like the flame behind me that you can see in the candle, sometimes if when we know that it might burn you when you touch the flame, so a wise person will never ever touch the flame, either from previous experiences or from the knowledge that you have gained. Touching the flame is going to burn you. Now, whether or not you know that it burns, sometimes the consequences are there. So just because you didn't know that it burns, like small child, an infant child, seeing the glow and the glitter of the light, will want to touch it, but it will also burn his or her finger. So whether or not you know that certain things, if you know that certain things are wrong, just avoid it. You don't have to try touching the flame to get burnt. If you know it is burning you, it'll burn you. Just avoid simply doing things. So don't do things even if you know it is wrong and it might bring about bad consequences. Simply avoid doing those things. And a wise person has the ability to do that, to stay away from evil, to stay away from doing evil things. So the fear, because of applying the knowledge of consequences, you can avoid. So ottappa. So learning, we learn every day, and when you learn from your seniors, from people who know perhaps better than you, or even who can share and discuss things with you. So sutta means to learn, to actually hear. Now in this case, sutta means also getting new understanding of sometimes either from experiences as well, because the word asutta means you have not realized as well. So we can use that translation to understand learning or knowing something new and enhancing. And if someone listens to the Dhamma, then only someone can actually put that in practice, because the retention rate, sometimes if you don't listen, then you'll completely forget as well. And when you listen quite often, it actually will be a blessing, because that will be at the conscious level all the time, the top conscious level, and you'll always remember. So it will come to the forefront for your protection. So if you listen to certain or even the Dhamma regularly, they will come for your protection at any given moment. Generosity, obviously chaga, letting or releasing, freeing yourself from material attachment, will slowly help you to free yourself from immaterial attachment such as ego and greed, and also slowly help you to let go of not just like but also dislikes. So chaga, or release, freedom, is very important. So when you learn how to practice to give, share, to dedicate, to actually even give some time for other people, it is all about other people. In that case, it is the opposite of self-centeredness. So therefore altruism, parartha charya, so that is there, that will also come over. So that is about freeing yourself from not just, as I said, your likes and dislikes, but also your immaterial delusion. And the last one is about panya. So when you practice the Dhamma with this context, with this, you'll develop wisdom to a certain level, and I referred to this a few days ago as well. It is about not your IQ or your knowledge, it is about realization, that is panya, wisdom. Intellect is not wisdom, neither is your education path. They will support and enhance your way of understanding and quickening your understanding of realization, but intellect is not wisdom, but they will help you in. That's why learning is a blessing, and they will quicken, or they will give your insight differently and realization differently. So they are supportive. So for wisdom, you don't have to. It is through practice that you get the wisdom. What you know will be pariyatti, what you practice is patipatti, and what you realize is pativeda. And when you practice the Dhamma, then only you develop realization, and from there you develop a different type of wisdom, which cannot be certified like with certificates. It is not something that you get certificate and you actually it is about practicing the Dhamma and enhancing your knowledge in the Dhamma. So imagine when someone has these noble qualities, whether it's not about wealth or about intelligence, it is about that wisdom that you get through having this type of noble qualities, and you are definitely made, not in the as in the Gatha, Dummeda, you are made, you are wise, you are a wise individual. So when you have these qualities, there is no way that you would actually incline to negativities or incline to evil actions. So a person who disregards these qualities is always, or maybe spending all the time, the majority of the time, thinking of how they can treat themselves, how they can satisfy their needs and desires, and how they can actually rejoice in hurting others and being jealous or even harming others. So when you develop these negative qualities, you are developing a bank of negative consequences, and therefore the word here is amitte neva attana. You are creating an identity, or you're creating yourself as an enemy that is harmful. And when we never associate with enemies. Once we know that someone is an enemy, then we are conscious that they can strike or attack at any moment. So imagine you have this bank of negative evil actions, karunta papakam kammam, doing negative actions, always saying negative words, always thinking negatively. Papakam kammam, it turns out to be a negative kamma, and that is this amitte neva, like a enemy of which always brings woeful experiences and conditions. Katuka phala, very bitter results. We don't want to live with such people, which means we don't want to have such future with those negative consequences. So when you are realizing this, you will be able to discard those negative qualities and think wisely. Never ever say to temptations, never follow emotions that bring negative results, never follow the emotions that make you do wrong things, fear to do evil, be shameful to do evil. Just because there is no CCTV doesn't mean you stop. You do certain wrong things. Just because there is no one to look at you, don't engage in wrong things. When you know it is wrong, just simply avoid it. So a person who cannot avoid would be seen as Bala in this context. A person who cannot say no to evil or say no to wrong things. A person who subdues to negative emotions and always pursues to please oneself with negative actions and dear words is a Bala in this context. So with that short reflection, we'll come to the close of this Dhamma reflection on the 66th stanza in the Dhammapada, so from the chapter of Fools. So now let us meditate on loving kindness as usual. So every day we meditate on loving kindness, apart from Thursdays when you do and develop mindfulness techniques. So this Sunday, being the last Sunday of the month, we also have a Dhamma sermon for an hour, so 7 to 8. So that announcement is simply for you if you do not, if you join with us in meditation. So loving kindness is the well-being context, well-being thinking, and it is about simple words such as imagine friendship, when you have friendship, you are ready for anything that is promoting well-being, not in the friendship of doing wrong things, but in from well-being. So imagine a parent very fondly, very lovingly looking after a child, tenderly being aware of things that might harm the infant or the child, always giving 24-hour attention to the child. Even a small cry makes someone or makes the parent ready to come to the child and show full attention and love. So can you just imagine that mentality, always thinking about well-being of someone, always thinking about goodness and wishing goodness and well-being for others. A mother or a father will never think beyond that. There is this 100% attention given to the well-being. So this is called metta. If you can develop that for yourself and for others, that is called metta in Buddhism. As a parent would discard every negative experiences for the child, or every negative harmful elements that cause for discomfort the child, we also have to be mindful what stops us from developing that love and affection or care. What might make us stop thinking in a well-wishing attitude or mindset? It might sound very difficult when we think of other associates. We might say, oh, a child is a helpless person. But no, that is not just an ideal. If we try to think, it is possible to be kind and caring for everyone, but always has to start with oneself. So if you look at your ways of thinking, look at your ways of behaving, interacting, I have been referring to something called expectations and conditions, 2 words. So when we expect certain things from others, when that does not happen, we develop a dissatisfied mentality, especially during this lockdown time with restrictions. You might want to do certain things, you want to travel, you want to have fun as regularly, but there are restrictions where certain things you can't do and you feel so dissatisfied. At home you might be wanting to watch TV. Do you argue over the remote control? Do you comment on the food that is coming in front of you? When you share like toilets and showers, do you comment? Do you expect certain things? No. So if we interact with high expectations, that is because you have had a fixed, or you have been attaching to certain things. Could be fixed views, could be your personality, could be your likes. And when that does not happen, we bring into ourselves a sense of dissatisfaction and annoyance. And when this is being cooked in your head, we fight, we argue, we have grudges. As soon as your mind becomes grumpy, your face also starts becoming grumpy. And then this dissatisfaction creates a distance between you and that person, or that event creates a gap between you and your well-wishing thinking, habits or manners. That's not healthy. And we have to therefore free ourselves from that. As soon as you realize that something is disturbing that peace of mind, because when that is not there, your mind is so peaceful. Your mind is so happy, the moments are happy. But as soon as you bring your wishes and your expectations in between that experience and yourself, then we create that gap. And the more we cook it, the wider the gap becomes. So free yourself from those. And when you free ourselves from those, there's patience. The impatience just goes away. There is happiness, there is joy, there is no jealousy. There is happiness, there is no envy. There is realization, there is no dissatisfaction. There is letting go, not clinging. And wherever there is this absence of this attachment and clinging and expectations and conditions, there is no peace in mind, there is no happiness in whatever you do, in whatever you think, in whatever you don't even want to have a discussion, you don't even want to see each other's face sometimes. Sometimes certain things just come and then again starts exploding into lots of other thoughts. So be mindful of those and let go of those, because you can't change those histories. You can't rewrite the history behind that emotion. So just because of certain names and certain incidents and certain items or memories bring negative experience, doesn't mean we have to deal with it negatively. All you can do is simply free yourself and put that in the bin. Simply put that in the bin. You can never rewrite the story behind emotion. You can never change history. So when you interact with people, always free yourself from conditions and expectations. Show love, not hate. Show patience or develop patience, not impatience. Develop happiness for others when they achieve or gain something, not jealousy. Don't talk to someone with conditions or with expectations. By that, what I mean is, don't think in your head, you are helping or you are doing this because you are my friend or you are my relative. Those are all conditions and connections we create unnecessarily, because a simple mistake can actually completely turn that attitude upside down. So the friendship should not be self-centered. The love should not be self-centered. You are not wanting to gain something from that interaction or that moment with each other. Free yourself from all these clingings and attachments and personal likes and dislikes. Then that mentality, that is peace of mind. There is warmth in there. There is no bitterness or coldness. So that warmth is always something that doesn't cost you. You can simply develop that by discarding unnecessary emotions and thinking patterns, habits. Freeing yourself from everything is peace of mind, is happiness. And only you can do that. No one can actually dive into your way of thinking or brains and trying to wash away those negative emotions or thinking habits. So it doesn't cost you. Simply develop the skill to let go of negativity, let go and develop and cherish positiveness and happiness without attaching to conditions. And then, as I said, as a parent would always have this 100% attention again on the child, looking at what might cause harm and paying attention to what might cause insensitivity, or will be aware of what other person likes or doesn't like. And we can develop that into our thinking. When you say something, what might other person, how do they like, do they not like, when you interact. So as a parent pays 100% attention to the child's well-being, we can pay 100% attention to our personal mental well-being, your own mind. And then when we develop that for ourselves, we can share with other people and wish the same for others. As much as you'd want everyone to look at you or pay attention to you in a positive manner, we can also wish for others in the same way. And when we start wishing others the same, we have transformed our way of behaving and interacting with other people, and always creating a sense of comfort and happiness for other people. And we wish them that. So in the practice of metta in Buddhism, we develop that thinking skill. So freeing yourself from everything and wishing yourself and others the same. Okay, so we will sit straight, which means no rest in your arms, or even your back, unless you have a physical disability. So sit straight, balance your body, and right hand on your left palm, and gently close your eyes. Once you close your eyes, just observe that relaxed body and appreciate your ability that you have postponed your duties and committed to this practice. Be thankful and appreciate your good health that also has supported to this practice this evening. When we notice this appreciation, when we notice that we have postponed or let go of our commitments, other commitments for the evening, for this short period, your body and mind can rest, so it won't develop restlessness or agitation. So when you see that body peaceful and calm, there is happiness because your mind is also peaceful. Also appreciate each other's presence. If there are people sitting with you, be thankful for their presence and support. Cherish this mutual support that you have sitting together. Don't pay attention to those who have not sat with you, but pay attention to those who are with you. Don't commend those who have not come, or don't even pay attention to what they are doing, but be happy for whatever they have chosen for, and appreciate each other's presence. So starting from your peace of mind and peace of body, the peace in the body, think of the stillness in the environment as well. So still bodies and still environment. And looking at that, perhaps the mind can also be still. So still means not planning, not recalling what happened, even not pursuing your likes and interests. And as I said earlier, committing and dedicating to this short practice in the evening. So there should be nothing but freedom. And if you do this regularly, there is always freedom and happiness at the given moment. And with that peace of mind, we wish ourselves happiness in these lines. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to me. May no problems come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May I always meet with success. May I also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May I be free from anger and jealousy. May I be free from frustration, anxiety and worries. May I be free from pain and suffering. We can wish others the same. So when we recall stations, if they have passed away, don't bring them to your thoughts. If the stations don't matter, don't just skip them. My parents, grandparents, teachers, uncles and aunts, and in-laws. Husband, wife or partner, children, grandchildren, brothers and sisters, cousins, nephews and nieces, friends, colleagues, neighbors, and some neutral people you meet daily. May they all be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from anger and jealousy. May they be free from frustration, anxiety and worries. May they be free from pain and suffering. May all living beings, including your pets, birds, animals and insects that come to your garden, seen and unseen beings, including all sentient beings, be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from pain and suffering. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May I be free from pain and suffering. Sadhu, sadhu. So thank you for joining with us today. We come to a close of today's broadcast. Every day we go live at 6:30, and from September the 1st we'll go live at 7 o'clock, enabling you to practice and engage in religious observances from home. So if you want to sponsor a day before Katina robe offering ceremony and participate in enabling others to sort of engage in the Dhamma practice and Dhamma dana, please do contact us. We will direct you to people that are organizing this. So today the sponsorship was made by Mrs. Claudia Crozier and her son Dylan. So they both came to temple and made offerings to bless her Claudia's departed mother, Susila Gunaranjani Pereira. So Claudia is also joined by her brothers Tony and Ansley, and her husband Samit Senivratna, also joined by Mrs. Pereira's husband John Friend. So all in all their wishes is to bless the departed mother Susila Gunaranjani Pereira, who passed away on the 21st of May 2019. May she rejoice in this punya karma, pink karma, and be happy and peaceful wherever she is. May she be in peace. In Buddhist tradition, we also bless, may she rejoice and be happy in samsara and eventually attain the blissful state of Nibbana. So we will say sadhu and bless dear Amma Susila Gunaranjani Pereira. So Claudia Nona Mahatmya tamage putunon Dilan samagin Mahatma Samit Senivratna Samitne Viharasthanete අද දවසේ මේ කරන වස්පින්කම් මාලාවේ දායකත්වය දරන්නේ ඒ සුසිලා ගුණරංජනී මාතාවට සංසාරික වශයෙන් සැප ළඟා කොට දෙන්නට පින්පෙත් අනුමෝදන් කරන්නට. ඉතින් ඒ ක්ලෝඩියා සමගින් සම්බන්ධ වෙන ටෝනි Crozier, Ansley Crozier, and John Friend. ඒ සියලු දෙනාගේම අභිමතාර්ථයේ ඒ මෑණියන් වහන්සේට නිදුක් සංසාරික වශයෙන් සැප ළඟා කොට දෙන්නට. ඉතින් අපි අද දවසේ කරගත්තා වූ දාන සීල භාවනාමය පින්කම් තුලින් එතුමියට සැනසෙල්ලම ළඟා වේවා, සැප ළඟා වේවා කියන හැඟීම මුල් කරගෙන හිතේ දරාගෙන අපි කවුරුත් සාදුකාරයක් දීලා පුණ්‍යානුමෝදනා වෙනවා. සාදු සාදු සාදු. So thank you for joining with us so far. So do join again tomorrow at 6:30. So have a very nice evening. Stay safe. Good night.